click the button. There we go.
Oh.
Now you're good.
All right, calling the meeting to order again, because now we're online. All right, let's open for public comment. Anybody have any public comments? All right. No public comments. Okay. All right, can I get a motion to approve minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the
I'll
last
second.
meeting.
Okay,
Dang.
all in favor?
Like Dean
Aye.
Wonder. Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Okay, the minutes have been approved. All right, items of business.
You can switch those around.
Okay, we'll do expert lounge snow.
You don't want to sit here for a training discussion?
No,
I'm just kidding.
So, so reading the document that we got, it appears that, and everybody disagree with me if you want, that this is taken out of our hands as the planning commission. And the county is restricting you access, is not giving you an occupancy permit. And that's out of our hands. And so, I mean, would you agree with that?
Who makes that call? How come we haven't been notified of this?
That's what the document I said. I
They
saw,
got
right?
that letter.
Yeah.
The violation letter?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
what
it-
he's talking about.
And
I
it
think,
says on
isn't it,
that
Jeff?
that we basically had 30 days to
Yeah, yeah.
contact them and work with them.
I agree, I agree.
He's
Yes.
just saying.
All I'm
as far
saying
as
is
that goes,
there's
it's not
nothing we can
working.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you're, this letter.
it's
is
pretty
from
much
the
between
county.
you and them.
It's between you and
Yeah.
them, and,
right.
Well, what, the only thing that is on the table still is whether you want to reconsider
Yep.
the
Yep.
special land use.
right, right. So,
I would make a motion to keep the special land use the way that it is.
I second that.
okay, so I would agree with
Going
that,
forward,
Yeah.
because,
isn't it going forward to getting the compliance done?
Well, that's kind of, I thought what we talked about last time is as long as I was working forward towards that, and
Yeah,
communicating with.
That's what I
them.
want.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yes, yes,
That you're
yes.
not saying,
No.
okay.
No, I'm stating going forward with the way that it is right now.
okay, let's be
Because
clear,
he's still,
let's be clear. though.
Restate the motion.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what-
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying
Yeah,
is
let's
that-
be clear. So I agree, keep the special use in place, right? But part of that special use is that you have an occupancy permit. Okay,
Correct, yeah.
and so if you don't have the occupancy permit, the special uses kind of goes away anyways, right? And in terms of whether you can stay in that building or work out of that building is again, up to the county.
Right,
It's not up to us. We can't say you've got your special use, so you can continue to work out.
right,
We agree.
That's
We,
correct.
we can't do that. I mean,
Right.
that's not our, it's not in our purview to be able to do that. That's all
Right.
between you and the county.
yeah,
And so I understand you got 30 days,
yeah.
right?
yeah,
And I
and-
understand, but that's again, between you and the county.
Right,
And and take this, right, when you either say, screw it, I'm not gonna do this anymore, or the county says, here's your occupancy permit, I think that's when we make a decision on the special use, or if something else happens, right?
Yeah.
right.
So, I mean, that's my 2 cents on it. And with other comments, other discussion?
Well, I think it's worth 4 cents, but.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
There
so
was a
last
motion,
month,
a second, and a discussion.
so last month, let's see if this motion is what you're thinking,
Okay.
similar to last month, that to extend the consideration of any action regarding the special land use permit
Yes.
until items are settled with the county. I mean, how do you want to word that? Is that what you're saying?
well, we have to keep it, my suggestion would be is to keep it going
I'm
as
sorry,
to
who
how
was
the
the
county is wording this now as a month-to-month basis.
Okay, so until again, you'll just keep it on your agenda then.
Correct.
No.
I mean, he has a plan and he's,
Yeah,
He's got the letter
he's
and he's
obviously
doing
gonna work with the
something,
county,
Right,
you know,
Right.
trying and
there's no point
everything
in
now.
us sticking a foot in the.
Yeah.
the word reconcile.
right. And no reason for us to say we're taking away the special use and you're
Right.
figuring everything out with the county. And in a month having to go, okay, we're gonna approve it again.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no reason
It's
to.
way part-time.
Well, basically what it is the county wants us to have a bathroom in here.
Uh-huh,
And there, we're
uh-huh.
working on that.
absolutely.
But I have spoke with my engineer that originally did the drawings for the upstairs that were approved. But now they're kind of going back on that and saying they want drawings of the downstairs as well. So I have contacted him. I've got that lined up. He's 45 days out. He just got back from vacation. So to kind of complete the, like the roof strapping to finish the permit and then get the engineered drawings to them. We're basically just on their time, for him to tell them what work has to be done and how they want it done, basically.
And you're keeping up this updated with county too. You're
Yeah,
keeping
yeah,
with
I've
them.
been
Okay, that's
communicating.
what we need. We need
That's the
communication
important
between you
thing,
guys and
Yes.
county.
Yeah.
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 Because I'm sure that at the end of the 30 days, we'll probably see something else come through from the county
Yeah.
possibly, I would think.
Correct.
I would think so. I think we plan to get permits for plumbing and electrical this week. We'd
Okay.
like to go ahead and move forward with the bathroom. We're putting in a handicap bathroom. We've went over the area that needs to be done. It's in an existing room, so there's no structure or anything that needs to be done. It's literally plumbing and electrical and then mounting some, handrails up and stuff
Smart
like
way to
that.
do it.
Been there, done that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't we?
That's
Yes,
the
we
way to do
have,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me happy for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm excited
It's a
to
step
make
forward.
this next step for sure and
And
get
I-
out of the.
I think we as a
We'll
planning
take over
commission will
it.
follow the lead of the county on this.
Okay.
Right? Again, back to as long as they're happy, I think we would be happy.
And they did come in and do a rough inspection.
Mhm.
And they stated they didn't see any health or safety issues. But there was some support stuff that they wanted to go over with the engineer and such, and that's why they're requesting the drawings for that stuff. But in the meantime, I don't, as far as health and safety issues, they stated they didn't see anything, so.
Okay.
I don't see any
So
other
the-
reason why we couldn't.
The support, verifying the
operate.
support in the bathroom are the two big things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, doing whatever needs to be done for the engineer, if anything needs to be done to support or.
Right,
whatever.
yeah. And that's only the first floor. That's keep your business going.
Correct.
Second floor is totally separate, is down the road.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Do you want to vote? So, Paula, you want to read the motion again? Just to-
I'm saying it's the same motion as last month, pretty much, is to extend the consideration. All the, special land use permit, blah, 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 until the next regular planning commission. meeting.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, is that what you guys want?
yeah, I mean.
That sounds
and
great
we
to
can
me,
make
not, you
the
know.
same motion next
It's
meeting. if
basically the same
necessary.
motion as last month is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I seconded that.
it's
We basically got a list of things that we have to
Mhm.
do,
I mean, that's
from
all we asked.
from
for.
them
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
to get the occupancy permit. And, we expect to have that stuff done as soon as possible, so.
Okay, cool. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Okay, motion has been approved.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Have a good day.
You too. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, training strategy.
So, part of the RRC, which is the redevelopment ready community thing, is they keep kind of pressing us to have something that so we're encouraging, people. I mean, we keep telling you guys, we want you to train and blah, but we want to see something in writing. So,
Right.
I took this plan to the DDA and to the city council for their input on, what they want to be trained on, because there's different sections in here. There's a city council section, there's a planning commission section. So what I think, I can't remember if I already changed these. I think I did. So, no, I didn't. I kind of copied somebody else's training plan. So the items that are in here are, the missing middle housing that's from another town. That's what they would like to learn about. And the downtown historic preservation standards, and then annual plan stuff. So, if there's anything specific you would like to see in here, I know Dina went to a bunch of trainings, and so, is there something that you that was really good. I think we could all learn that.
Yeah, when I did the training with the zoning, just in general zoning ordinances and how to read them and go through them, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. I mean, it was just like a basic zoning ordinance training, and I was
Okay.
like, it was 2 days, and that was probably the most knowledgeable I got. That one. Out of the 7 I did, that one was.
Well, that's good to know,
Pretty.
because we might be able to also get some of those. And if we have a slow night, we could do a half
I
an
still
hour.
have all my booklets.
Well,
Bring them in.
Do you have recordings? Did they?
I don't know if they're still up?
Because if we had some of those, we could just do.
We could
you
just
know,
do a
have some-
class.
Yeah, I mean, and that counts.
I'll go check.
you
I
know,
mean,
So, and that was written in here, is that we would do like maybe one outside and maybe two in here during the year or whatever. And
I'll go
it's,
through
it's
and
just
see on
goals
that.
and, hopefully we can work towards them, but, I mean, I think we've all learned that there's plenty to learn around. here.
We know everything.
So, I think, and I mean, they're, like, so we, for one thing, we started getting like solar panels in our office, like people want to put solar panels. Well, I don't know the first thing about that. And, so then I like figured out all I need to worry about is the setbacks. And then the county takes care of the rest. But, things like that, like trends that start coming
I'd like
through.
to know more about like how to enforce things that people aren't coming to us for. Like how to enforce things that if somebody's like just doing something and they didn't come here to get it approved or checked
Me like
out,
building a shed?
like, or putting up a fence or just
Well,
stuff like
like,
that.
The fences, for the most part, if somebody puts up a new fence and somebody calls me, then we send them a letter. So we do have that kind of stuff in place.
Right, but I would like to know, like, process and, like all the little process. I like to follow the process.
But I mean,
of things, just
specific
so I
things like
understand.
that, if you guys want to know that, I can do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can teach you what we're doing. And then we can talk through if we need to change the process or how it's working or any feedback from people who got a fence, stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I mean, so that's kind of what this is that we'll look at this every year and go, hey, this last year we learned about zoning requirements. Next year we want to look at solar or wind energy or, I don't know, setback requirements, stuff like that. So, does anybody have any issues with this training thing?
No issues. Has anybody in the commission ever done the first aid training or, that kind of thing?
First aid?
Yeah, first aid or anything else, just general stuff
Well,
like
I've
that?
done it through other jobs. I did the first aid, but not through here.
I haven't done that
Yeah.
in like a long time.
I've never
just-
done it.
We could bring Dan in for first aid training.
Like if you wanted ideas,
Yeah.
I
that's
mean,
an
I know how
idea.
to
we
put a
could do.
Band-Aid on.
That's something we could all do in like one sitting.
Yeah.
How to
This-
resuscitate somebody or whatever. how
This
to-
is more or less for your job here as a planning member though, but if I drop dead, I would like it.
You'd like us to help?
Yeah.
I can
Something
do the
happens, you
Heimlich, I
guys-
can do all the other stuff
I
too.
know.
Actually, I've had to use the Heimlich before.
But I mean, I try to keep it pretty
250-pound lady, I picked her right
basic.
up off the ground.
like the other ones had it, so,
So let me throw a couple ideas.
Sure.
They're not they're. So. What about things that you would like us to know that would help us help you? Right?
Yeah.
What about?
What would make us a
asking-
better,
Yeah,
Planning
what about
commission.
asking Pete?
Okay.
Is there things that he thinks that maybe he
right,
could come in and
Well,
help us to help him help us?
Right.
If that makes sense. You know
well,
what I
and
mean?
I think like what we just did, we learned a lot through
Yeah.
this. law
Yeah,
and,
through
you know,
Jake.
for-
Yep.
For what we did there, so we all learned about what everybody else's role is, and so,
Mhm.
I mean, those are good things to learn, like what other
Yeah,
people's
yeah.
roles are and what people do before and after it comes to the planning commission,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yep.
That's a good suggestion.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll put this together and then probably next month bring it for approval. So I kind of got everybody's input on it now, the three that it would be in here, except for the ZBA. I'm not gonna call a ZBA meeting to ask them, because I
No.
don't think they're gonna want to.
I mean, 1/3 one's here. so-
I
So-
think next month we should do a 3-hour training session.
Okay,
Because you're not gonna be here.
it's
I-
Willigers.
I
No, no,
oppose.
right here. 3-hour training session, we get all out, knock out one. Oh, that's right, I'm getting my niece surgery. I won't be here next month.
That's because he's not gonna be here.
We'll record it so Rosemary
Why
can
are
play
you
it back.
getting your knee done at the beginning of golf?
I was told 10 to 15 years ago that I need both knees replaced to wait as long as I could. I've gotten to the point where the pain is so bad it wakes me up.
Are you
So
doing one
it's-
at a time?
It's do it now,
Yeah.
or else my wife's gonna
That's the
kill
only
me.
way
Yeah, okay.
My dad got both done at the same time.
Really, that's
Oh,
shocking.
He had
wow.
two
That is what I
surgeons.
wanted to do. They
He had
wouldn't let
two
me.
Say nowadays
surgeons
they
and
won't
did
do it.
Nope.
It was last
No.
year.
I
That's
wouldn't
crazy.
mind even.
Yep.
I said, do them both, put me in a rehab center until I can walk and do stuff by myself. Nope. Won't do it.
All right, so we're good with the training?
Yep, as long as you guys are, I'm gonna, fancy it up and bring it next month for.
Okay, so I have other items. I have some that I'd like to bring up. Something that we actually talked about, I think in here. And I'd like to get it on the agenda for next meeting
Okay,
is let's work on making this committee more proactive, right? Things that we would like to see the community do. And I know we have a list of 10 things that are in works. I'm talking about thinking about things that may not be on that list, right? We can always go back to that list and help with those, but let's try and think of other things that might not be in the works and if we can't think of anything, if everything on that list, if that list is all inclusive, great. Do you have that list handy? I mean, can you get that?
which
Not
one
right
would you
now.
like?
Well, you have the top 10.
She's like, I have lots of lists.
Well, I mean, we have a capital improvement
Yeah,
plan,
we
which
have
has a
our-
lot more than
Yeah.
10. We brought
Okay.
that just recently and asked you guys for
Yep,
input on.
yeah, yeah.
And we have
Had like a top
the
10.
Parks and Rec plan.
Well, I
has-
guess, I was gonna say,
The
they have that
capital
other
improvement
list.
plan
yeah.
kind of wraps it all up. We
Of what
also
the
have the
money was
master
funded
plan,
for.
the economic development strategy plan. I mean, it depends on which plan you want to go through.
So I would,
Or
well,
all.
I don't necessarily want to go through any. I mean,
The
The
city
the
improvement
parks,
stuff.
when we went over the parks and recs before, it's more or less depending on, because a lot of that was grants. Waiting on the grants, things like that, approval, and then all that stuff. So it's not like we can push that any more than it already really is to try to get what we need to be able to do that.
It's tough driving by and seeing the park underwater for the first month or two.
Well,
What
here.
was that?
I've been that way
agenda
since I
item
was a kid,
called?
so.
I was gonna say,
Future, I don't know.
that right
Proactive
there,
ideas.
that's been there.
Something.
that's done that for
Since
years.
Maybe
it
we
was
don't
made
come up
when I
with
was a
it.
kid.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Since
Yeah.
it was made, probably.
I used to swim in there and get
Me too.
leeches on me.
Yeah, there used to be the pond in there with the
Yep.
goldfish and everything.
Yep.
That's funny.
Come out, you put leeches on.
Yep.
Nice.
I am
She's
glad to
like-
see that they are working on the fields more and stuff like
They
that
are,
too.
yeah.
That's looking really decent again back in there, and everything else that, between the city and the Lions Club is put into,
And
To be able
just
to
the parents
use-
in general.
Yeah, baseball. You're talking about bait scout.
Yeah.
I love the tables on the sidewalks. Not just because it's front of the salon, but it just makes it more inviting. It just makes it more inviting.
I was like tables on the sidewalks and bait scout.
No,
I
not
kind of
the-
did
on
I
the sidewalks.
agree.
I like that.
The tables over there though, were they meant to be specifically there or can I go move them?
Which ones?
Like Dairy Down?
Those are theirs. They bought them themselves.
They were in a horrible spot. I moved one.
Yeah,
last
well,
night.
yeah, those are their
It
own.
was in the center of the parking lot. and I'm like, I had my
Somebody
dog.
must
I
have
think
moved
people
there.
are
Yeah,
moving
they had
them.
to.
Yeah, somebody must
I
have
moved it to
there.
the
There ain't
corner
no
with
way.
the grass, so I was like, screw this, I'm not eating.
But no,
in the
those
middle
are
of
their
the-
own.
Okay.
I was say, because last year they were over towards the.
They were on
edge
the
of
And it
the-
was
corner.
nice.
Yeah.
They were off to the
Yeah,
side.
I don't know why
No,
they're.
it was
out
right by
there.
the road, like the drive, and I was
Yeah.
like, screw it, my dog's gonna get hit. So
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
drugged the table down, I had my ice cream. and-
But it does make it inviting.
But as
having
far
the
as,
tables and chairs
planning
there.
and, zoning goes, and really that one there is kind of like I mean, I think we probably could enforce that they move them out of a parking space or block off parking spaces, just because for safety purposes and, we
I
probably
think for
could.
the most part, it's okay, but yeah, if.
But no,
becomes
it
an
wasn't there
issue-
last year. Last
Yeah.
year, she had them up in a nice
Yeah.
little corner spot there.
Yeah, it was like a designated area. Now
Yeah,
it's
it didn't
shuffled
feel like
here
you
and
were
there.
sitting in the parking. I mean, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
me moving it will be like, oh, maybe we should put them back. on."
But yeah, I don't know if somebody just put them out and then they stuck them in the wrong spot. but-
Who do you think did it?
I have no
Anybody.
idea.
Group of young kids
Yeah.
sitting together for an ice
I
cream.
mean, it could have been just some of the teens that worked there.
Yeah, we're a big
just drug
family.
it
Hey,
out
let's
or
put the
something.
tables together now.
Yeah.
Like,
We had a couple of ladies who were sitting down, who wasn't down in front of our building. I'd sit down in my chair and had the windows open, it was a nice night and everything. And I heard them ladies and I said, what is this place? And I kind of looked out the window because I heard it clear as day. What is this place? Here they go, both on their phones. I just wanted to scream, The website's right there on the door. Look at it. It's just-
At least they were looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
come
sitting
see
right there at the
us.
table, looking at the blaze in the window, or I don't know, they're looking in the window or not.
Yeah.
It does look nice having them back out.
Yeah, it is.
It
It
looks real
is
nice
so
on it.
nice.
Our ladies use them.
We like it a lot.
Yeah, I noticed those ones are always being used, and obviously the ones by Toyers.
I think sometimes people just get ice cream and pizza, they'll just come over and sit in front of our place and just kind of get away from other things.
Mhm.
Or I've seen people eat pizza, I've seen them eat Twilligers food there, not beers, but
Right?
So we heard from. we
I've
heard
even-
from Tammy.
Nope.
Well, that's why I assumed.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
spread, I mean,
Separated.
people that, if people want to get food to go from Tammy's, they can still eat at those Tammy's,
Right,
right?
yeah, no.
It's just that when they were right in front, the traffic accumulated.
Yeah, no, I,
We don't have people on Saturday and Sunday. There was just, it wasn't possible for us to keep up with it. And we tried to work it out and it just, that didn't work. And
It's
unfortunately,
good the way it
that's,
is now.
yeah, it seems to be working and, you know, I see,
and I'm agreeing, my question was that she said.
no,
I mean,
No.
I know, yeah.
so, the other thing that I kind of, I mean, I don't know, you guys done with what you want on the agenda next month, or you want, that was it? So, I kind of wanted before this comes back to planning commission, because it might, we have the person that wanted the extra driveway still wants his pole barn. And, one of the things that I found in the ordinance is that the pole barn cannot be larger than the house that's on the lot. So anybody that wants to put up a pole barn today, I mean, somebody else might have one bigger on their lot right now, those are already,
grandfathered.
yep, those are,
Well, I
you
thought the
know,
last one that happened, we had to approve.
and we didn't approve it.
Yeah, we did.
No,
The one on Doyle Road?
no, it ended up, they went under ag.
Oh, is that how they got that bigger?
Yeah.
Oh, so they switched the property to ag?
Well, it is ag. They filed it under some farm ag thing and, yeah, so.
We
Noted.
own it. Where there's a will.
Okay.
Yeah, Noted.
No, and
There was
that's,
something that they filed for with ag there, but anyways, if,
okay,
if, you know, so our ordinance says that, so
Right.
if, I think that when I read the ordinance, it clearly does not encourage pole barns to be built.
Right.
Because if you, I mean, and I pulled up the aerial photo, just look around, how many pole barns are actually in town?
not that many.
Right. You know, and we had somebody call that they want to buy a place out here on Haley Court. And it's a corner lot and they want to put a pole barn there between their house and Doyle Road. Now, all the neighbors would just be looking at a pole barn.
Yeah.
Everybody that drives by would be looking at a pole barn. So I think those are the things that we need to keep in our mind. And I'm not saying whether you want to or you don't want to, but that's what you need to think about when you're planning is, do you want to see that everywhere? And what size do you want to see them to be if you do want to allow them? And, you know, how is that going to work? So, I just want you to know that that is coming. I did tell, the person that, you know, the size was an issue. So,
Speaking of this place, because I never actually got to see where it was actually at. Can you tell me the location?
yeah, it's over, like right by the middle school. The
Okay,
drive right there, that's Williams.
yeah,
The old house that's for
Yeah.
sale.
There is no other house on Williams right there. That
Oh,
other
okay.
house, the old house that just, you know, on the corner that just sold.
Mhm.
That one is on High Street or not High.
And
Street,
it would be
Sidewalk.
right behind
Right.
it.
Right behind
Right,
there's a vacant lot.
okay,
And then where McDougal's lived, right on that corner there, the White House, the ranch,
mhm.
that house has now been combined with that vacant lot. So that house is on High
So
Street.
he did combine it.
Yeah, we combined the lots, which legally, you know, we don't really have any right or reason not to
Right.
combine those.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the other thing is the pole barn wants to be built for storage for business stuff and personal stuff not belonging to the house there. So, I mean, I don't think that is ever the intent of what the city's master plan and all of the things that we have that, you know, that we all keep saying we agree with it, you know,
Right,
we either have to change that stuff or stick to it, because the problem is in our office, you know, we have to follow that for the intent.
Correct.
And, the intent is that, we want more homes and we don't want our people, the neighbor behind you to have to look at a giant pole barn.
Right.
That's the way I read the ordinance. And so if we want to change that vision, then we have to change the ordinance, right? And
So
then,
does it distinguish a minor point? Does it distinguish between a pole barn and a garage?
See, and
well,
that
that's
was
the
my
other
next
thing, as
question,
I
too.
think that we may want to look at saying no pole barn. Because that's a pole barn structure,
It's
right?
a pole barn
Say,
structure. Yeah, I
no
mean, they're-
pole barns, but you can build a garage. Or you could call it a pole barn, but it has to match the house. It has to
Yeah,
look
right.
like the
That,
house.
that's,
It has
that
to-
was good,
The
that
pole
was
barn
gonna be my
garage
next.
So those are
It's
things that
construction
we could,
method.
instead of making, we could say a pole barn is a special use. So if you want to get a pole barn, then you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Those are things that you
Right.
could maybe think about if you want to allow them.
So,
But I did, one of the things I did pull up and look, and I'm like, well, where would you put one around town? And somebody's, if they wanted one. It really does become problematic when your houses are back to back
right.
and you have little tiny backyards.
Well, in most of them that you see, they look like the house. Most of them that you
Right.
see around town are really just a glorified two-car garage that's not attached.
And the ones that
And it's
aren't,
sided.
don't look good.
Exactly.
The ones that aren't, people are using for,
Right.
just
They had,
random.
sorry,
It's
And
it's
they
just,
were
it's,
there.
it's really about property maintenance and management that, you drive through all the places and you don't want to look at that.
they had it out to Lake Victoria that you could not build a pole barn at all.
Right.
And then they did a little tweak on that, that if it matched the house, it could. Now you got pole barns all over, as long as they're attached to the house.
Yeah.
Right.
And they look like a house, but like you say, some of them are bigger than the house. the pole
Yeah,
barns
they'll-
out
And
there.
if you're
Out
on
there,
lakefront
they've gotta
property,
have-
you really
Yeah.
want to be
You wanna
looking at a pole
barn?
barn.
Right.
Still
You
like-
know, I think that's
Oh,
the
it got out of
vision.
hand quick. out
Right,
there.
but that's the vision everybody has to look at, is that it seems great for this one person, but do you want it all over town?
Right.
And, like he said, it gets out of hand, then what do you do?
Well, in a lot of
Then
your
we have
places,
garage
you don't
door
have the
days,
space.
like they recommended.
Or do you want to do, a special use? And then, I don't really know what all of our options are, but I want to think that we don't want to just say no to people, but we also want to protect the people that are here.
Mhm.
And so we have to find that happy medium, and sometimes the
Well-
answer is just no.
And we also need to make it easier for you guys. And I don't mean, we need
And-
to give you a clear set of,
Right,
this is what it is. So when somebody comes in to ask,
right. And when
you're not
people come
going,
in, it makes it easier for everybody.
Right,
Because
yeah,
it makes it
no.
easier for you
Yeah,
guys, it makes it
that's-
easier for
that's what-
me.
When I was saying that, it wasn't.
Right, and I know what you meant, but
It was-
I'm just saying that, it's like, in any job, you want to be able to go to a rule book and say, well, this is how I'm supposed to do
Yes,
this, X,
yes.
Y, and Z. And
Mhm.
especially when I gotta tell somebody no, and then somebody else gets to do it, then they come in and go, well, you let them have a third driveway or whatever, like, I can't win.
Right.
So, I feel like, I just want you to think about those things, and as you drive around town, write down things that you're like, man, I wish we'd have never allowed those, or, why don't we allow that? Or, kind of things like that, so that, as like you're talking about with proactiveness, that
Mhm.
then you kind of have a really good
Yeah.
idea of, this probably seemed like a good idea, like storage units in the middle of downtown. When somebody allowed that, did that seem like a good idea? Probably. It doesn't now.
Yeah.
It
Does
just
anybody
doesn't,
use that?
it doesn't function well there.
Um,
Well, we bought
the
it.
city
The
owns it
city
now.
bought it.
They're gonna tear down.
That's gonna be tearing it down.
They shared it with the
Parking lot
school.
at school,
Is
right?
that that's the idea?
Yeah, we, I
That's a
approached,
great idea.
I approached the school to see if they'd be interested in partnering with buying that building, and city council agreed, and so we partnered probably a year and a half or so ago, and we
That's
just
great.
purchased it.
They're gonna
um,
share. and
Yep.
big
That's a
parking
really
lot.
great idea.
So that way
Or
the
parking to
school
get
can
your
use
hair
it.
massage.
Yes, because hopefully
The people have moved out of there.
Yeah,
In
I,
case- in
as-
case
it's
literally
vacant
moved
now.
out
it
there.
didn't happen.
It's vacant now.
let's have a sledgehammer party. We'll just like go over and help out the
There
situation.
you go.
Hey, some of those doors are cut.
Yeah, but I like breaking stuff.
So I did want to make you aware that we may get, some more requests for pole barns or whatever, and I think that you probably need to get that where you guys want it to be, you know? It's just my job to tell them what it says, so.
Yes. We need to have a clear defined set of rules with them. If you want to
And-
deviate from this, you can go to the planning commission and maybe get an exception. but-
Right, so I mean, and is it, and do we want to do a variance on, like, if it's not supposed to be bigger than the house? If your house is 1,000 square feet, your pole barn can't be 3,000 square feet.
Right.
I mean, that, you know, do you want to do variances on those? And those a variance would go to the ZBA, so you guys would have to, you know,
Table it to them.
yeah, it would have to go to them, but.
I'm just kidding.
But if you also wanted to change the ordinance, then you could.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
before, you know, like we talked about with the driveways, but, you know, after we had those driveway discussions, and I drove out in the township. And almost every home, one driveway. You know, and I think that in the city, it makes more sense that you don't want that second driveway. Because you already have so many driveways close together, and then if you have curbs, you gotta do a curb cut for every single one of those. And then your storms don't get the water. I mean, it just kind of it's all part of the municipal life, you know?
I don't even have that option.
I know.
I have drive. That's it. Closed off all the way around.
I don't even have a driveway, I got an
Oh,
alley,
yeah, you got an alley. We can all park there, though.
plenty of room back there.
Yeah, think about what we should do with that,
I
guys.
want to do big market.
See, I honestly, I agree with you there.
I think it'd be cool. We could
I
have
think with that
spots
lot
where
right
trucks
down
can
there,
Come up. Vendors
because-
to park.
I don't know if anybody's done any of the traveling or not, but I've seen quite a few of these towns, northern area, that they've actually built a pavilion style.
Like market.
farmer's
rates.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
They
is
just did one in Rose City that is actually, I bet it's maybe 30 foot wide and about maybe 40, 50 foot long. And they
you can
even
do
have
them
bathrooms
cute,
on the end of it,
yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
I
and
mean,
stuff
it's
like
been
that.
on
And
our,
it's,
you know,
and
it
it's
was
just
on our
a,
list for a while.
it's
but
just a
then-
wood style pavilion
yeah.
that they did
It would
with
be cool to have
concrete
covered
pad.
ones for vendors
You
and
know.
then like a spot
It
to
is really a
eat.
pole barn without walls.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding.
And that was my other thing too.
That
is-
rule
is-
wouldn't apply. to
Well,
us.
okay.
Gaylor's got a gorgeous
Oh, yes, they
outdoor
have a
downtown.
fabulous one and it's actually downtown and it's a
Yeah.
street that's blocked off.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Roosevelt
Yeah.
Road would be all parking for
You know.
this.
Are they talking about painting the pavilions at the park,
Pavilions at the park.
at Bay Scout Park? Are they doing any painting on those again anytime soon or anything like that?
I don't know. I thought they just painted out there.
See, I don't remember. That's why I was just curious. I haven't been through there, last year and a half, a
I
couple
thought they,
years.
I mean, why do you, I just, it's,
That was just something I
Oh,
was
okay.
asking.
no, I
Were you
feel
like-
like that we just painted out there,
Okay.
so.
Because I know that they've done some concrete work out there and I was wondering if they were doing that or gonna be, because I remember, 5, 6 years ago, they didn't look the greatest.
Yeah.
And a nice coat of paint on the roof and on the pillars.
Yeah, I feel like they just painted them, but
Okay.
I can't tell you if it was last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think the last time I was actually there was when we put up the basketball stuff.
Yeah.
With the Lions Club. So.
Well, our family reunions in a couple months.
Okay, anything else?
I know, one more thing before we adjourn. Anybody have a problem with either changing the June meeting date, not meeting until July? Or, because really the only thing I have for next month is the expert law and snow, and that you said to the next regular planning
we could,
meeting,
yeah,
so
just-
it would just make
It would
July.
extend his 30
So,
days. and have him-
I'll be out of
Well,
town for a conference,
That
but I could
extends
zoom
our
in.
30
I won't
days,
be
but
here.
not the county's 30 days.
No, I know,
Yeah.
But yeah, but
the 30
we
days,
said at our
he
next.
would
At our
meeting,
next
so
meeting,
that
yes.
it wouldn't matter,
we would be
you know,
covered.
Yes.
that would buy him some time. He's not gonna be done in 30 days anyway.
I'm down with whatever, so.
Well, and if you're gonna be gone, he's gonna be gone anyways. And
There
we're
goes
not
the break.
sure.
What
We'll
is,
meet at
Yeah.
Twilligers
what is the date?
for an hour.
June 20th.
That means council is 2 weeks before that.
June 6th.
Okay, so I'm leaving on the. Okay, so I can make council.
So July,
But I'm just asking, we can have it, I can show it via Zoom. I just have a conference. I'm out of town.
I'm just pulling up the date here for July, because that's what you're talking about, honey. So you're thinking the 18th of July, which is the third Monday?
My brother's birthday, so he'll be 50.
So my only concern
beer.
with that is what
That's
happens.
me, January,
So
big
me.
5-0.
Right
I mean,
now,
we
we have
can-
experts.
I just
Yeah,
turned
we
41
can meet.
yesterday.
I'm just saying, if you guys,
Well,
otherwise,
we've had emergency meetings before. so
Right.
We have to.
I mean, I would just have to be on there.
Yeah.
Because I have to, I'm in terms of,
Yeah,
Then let's just wait.
I mean,
Let's
it's
take
just
June
expert.
off.
Well, I don't.
I don't
we
think
have to
he's
have-
gonna mind
No,
unless.
he's gonna be fine with it. It's just what happens if something else comes in and we
Right.
wanna get it handled.
I can tell you that that week in
Is my only-
July, I will be gone.
In July. I just wanted to ask if you guys,
Shall-
We're
otherwise,
good. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
good.
we're good to
All right.
waive it next,
okay, if something happens, I'll just call you guys
Yep.
and we'll
Yep.
say, well, shit happened and we gotta have a meeting.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to plan for that
I'm
if we
good with
could, so.
You guys should also be excited because by the next time we meet, this will no longer be an international planning commission.
Congratulations.
On the 15th, I will become America.
American.
After
Congratulations.
2 years and $1,100, my meeting is on the 15th. That's where you do your civics test and you go
That's
before a
if you pass
judge.
your
and
test.
What is your national?
Hey,
whatever.
Canadian,
Canuck.
eh?
Canadian.
He's a
Oh.
Canuck. I'm from India.
My son, my
I'm Canadian.
son.
Oh, don't do that. Oh.
I'm Canadian, come on. now. But there's a lot of nationalities in Canada.
Got it. My son wants to be Canadian, like all the time. Mom, can we move to Canada? You can when you.
So I make the motion to adjourn?
Got it.
Yes.
Second.
Second, third, fourth.
All set, girl.
Thank you.
This was never.
I said,
mine.
we can discuss more now that this camera off.